is a hard time in the making. Number 2 is the one playing I'm not taking. Number 3 goes on one knee for a token. Number 4 is the short straw, but it's broken. I'd give my all just to be number 1. Number 1 is a hard time in the making. Don't give a damn. What else? I am the man in the making.
Michigan Shores Club in beautiful, we're in Wilmette, right? This is Wilmette, aren't we not?
Correct.
Wilmette, Illinois, for the opening round, basically, of the CPTC league. This is Series 1, no? This has got to be, no?
Series 2.
This is 2? Okay, how strong are we if this is a 2 match? Jeez, unbelievable. Anyway, my name is Sean Albrecht. I'm here with Cal Noble and Jason Love, our special guest, really. Special guest, Jason. But no, come on, you are. We don't usually get, celebrities of your ilk on the telecast. So, and I call it a telecast because I'm old school. That's just me. Anyway, what you're watching and who you're watching is actually more important. You're watching Sasha Djordjevic and I believe, is that not, wait a minute, Danny Oaks. That's right. Danny Oaks, Brett Binkley, and Jeff Reitenauer. Djordjevic, and I believe Sasha and Danny are the away team, are they not? They're not. Are they playing for Michigan Shores?
No, they are Michigan Shores.
They are Michigan Shores, but you know, it shows how much I know. And I know those guys for how many years, and I still don't, you know what I mean? Like, it's one of those things where you walk up to a guy you've known for years, and you still don't know his wife's name, and you're just, yeah, you're so pretty, you just say whatever you want.
You drop every line to get them to say their name.
Exactly. But anyway, so
many times.
it doesn't work for me either. Probably works for you. You're much more charming than I am.
No,
I'm in a corner somewhere, cowering in a corner. Anyway, so I've seen Reitenauer. Thank you, sir. I've seen Reitenauer play. As a matter of fact, Reitenauer was he's a former Lakeshore Country Club director, if I'm not mistaken. He's got some skills, baby. He does. So this is going to be a very interesting match. I've never seen Brett Binkley play, though. Jay, have you ever seen Brett Binkley play before?
I have. Kind of your typical incredibly talented Chicago player, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the fact is we are incredibly lucky to have such a really high talent level pool here in Chicago. So
Are we talking about Finkeltoes?
Are you that
Yes.
are you that intimately familiar with him, Cal?
With his game, absolutely.
Okay, fair.
He,
Okay, fair enough.
You should see that serve. He gets up on those tippy toes. I'm
All
assuming.
right, that's more of a matter of style. I mean, that's not what that isn't an actual nickname though.
he is a tall drink of water. I'm a solid 5'8" with shoes on. I'm 5'7" because I have flip flops on right now. But I mean, he was towering over me. I think he's taller than Danny.
He looks a good 6'4" for sure. Yeah, because right now he's about 6'1", 6'2", something like that.
Easily.
So,
if he was in the NBA, we'd list him at 6'10".
yeah, because I'm trying to just extrapolate from watching him and Dan Oakes because Danny's a good 6'3". So again, I've been watching probably Sasha and Danny for a long time. By the way, but they're young guys, and yet it seems like they've been veterans. Am I wrong, Jay? They've been veterans, like they've been around the leagues for a while. No?
I mean, I would say Sasha's clearly the veteran on the court.
Yep.
Sasha and I just said to him beforehand, I go, great, we're gonna watch the longest match in paddle history. But the only way that would be really true if I was out there with him lobbing every ball. But no, Sasha, obviously the veteran on this court. But yeah, Danny, he came up quick and early. Again, like I said about Chicago, we've got such an incredible tennis
Pool.
level here, right?
Yes.
So these young tennis players come out and they get, acclimated to the game and they take this huge rise. So he's really been playing for quite a while.
It is crazy. It's funny you say that. It's crazy how much some of these young guys improve and get to the national level. I mean, there's one thing, and the thing is, you'll see some matches that I would say, I don't want to say just a league match, at a club that would be, kind of our local league match, and it would be otherwise a national matchup just because of the talent pool here in Chicagoland. So I want to say we might have the most depth in the country now. I hate to say that, but it might be. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. You would just take a look at the rankings.
I think that's completely fair. I think the reality is, too, is a number of our really deep, strong players don't play national tournaments.
That's a good point.
If you were, let's say your wife or significant other was going to give you one day out a week or one weekend every so often, you're not going to necessarily burn that on the national tournaments. Whereas, because you're going to get this level match. Again, this is a Series 2 match, to be clear, right?
Yeah.
This is a Thursday night during the week Chicago match.
Yeah.
And this is, this is as good as it's going to get.
Pretty much, yeah.
Whereas, as you look at most of the tournaments, this is an easily around a 32 match in a national level tournament.
So basically, we're catching Dave Matthews on a Wednesday at the House of Blues, basically, right? Or I should say Thursday.
After he After they empty the waste tank of the bus
in the early 2000s, not 2024. How about that? Is that the bet?
Fair enough. Fair enough. Yes. Yeah. I know. Yeah, I'm still living in the past.
Sorry, Mike and Jen Raleigh, who are huge Dave Matthews
We are.
fans.
They've been
I was trying
50 plus times.
I think at least.
Yeah.
And we love that.
Yeah.
All right, they're ready to go here. Looks like
Boys
Binky and Right Now is going to start us off here.
All right.
Oh, see, that's way too smooth. And of course, Sasha, or I should say, Jerry, I was going to call him Jerry Oakes. That was just somebody I used to work for, which is just, no more medication for Sean. Danny Oakes with the smooth return. But yeah, and this again, we're technically in, even though it's not summer anymore. I mean, chronologically, we're still getting the temperatures that way. I want to say, I'm going to take a guess. I'm going to say it's about 79 degrees right now.
Well, you should subtract 9 by that, and
Really?
I think you'd be in a good
Wow.
position.
Radar's saying 70.
Okay.
But we're right by the lake, so it does feel a little cooler.
I appreciate the kind words. I blew it. It's okay. You can
Well,
say that.
Sean, do you remember last year, Michigan Shores was the one time we got the positive lake effect,
Yeah.
where it was warmer by
Yes.
the lake because
Yeah.
it got cold so quick.
It's a beautiful club, by the way. I mean, when they say Michigan Shores, that's exactly what it is. I mean, if these guys were to look, actually, well, that would mean right now in Binkley would have to look behind them, but they would literally see the lake from where they are right now. It's pretty
It really
cool.
is
That's
a
beautiful.
beautiful spot.
That's right by Gilson Beach for those cartographers amongst our listeners.
You know what? Nobody ever said. I said
It's a
you had
lost art.
You had no vocabulary. I'm wrong. I was wrong. I admit it. I was wrong. Not about anything else, but just that right there. That's it.
Take what we can get.
That's the idea. And by the way, they are pretty much starting out in a very controlled manner, even though that's kind of a controlled snap roller, which I kind of appreciate. Not deep enough necessarily it's going to cause any damage, but it's going to kick up enough and just get the job done, if you will.
Well, I don't want to jump the gun here, but
Yes,
we've been live for about 13 minutes, and we've yet to say warm weather paddle. So let's just get it out of the way. So it carries at least into October.
Well, Matt's not here.
Yeah, no,
so
that's true.
right.
That is his.
And
All right,
sure,
15
I'll
all.
be the guy. You know, make sure. Sorry, we're missing Matt tonight.
Yeah,
Matt
well,
McClure, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Who is,
Our
do we
fearless
say
leader.
why he's not here? Is that where can we talk about that?
Legally,
Okay, I don't want to.
After the
It's
whole.
personal business.
you're not allowed to talk
But
about
he's
an
in
ongoing
good spirits.
investigation.
Very, yes.
And he would love to be here if he could.
He can't. He's contagious. Yes.
Yeah.
Let's just say that.
He's caught a case.
Exactly. 1530. Uncustomary error there from the Binkley Right Now team. See, one thing I love about Right Now serve motion, he can pretty much throw a changeup in there, or he can put a little bit more or less on the ball, which I really like. You know, changing speeds, it does make a difference. A lot of people don't think so. I'm just saying that for any students of mine that, you know, if you are unfortunate enough to have me on a group as a coach, just realize that I do preach that, you know, you don't always have to hit the ball the same speed all the time.
Indubitably.
I think another great. You know, we'll get technical for a second, right?
Sure.
I love throwing these things out there. every once
Absolutely.
in a
You know
while.
what? This is one of the bonuses of having you on.
You gotta,
Go for it.
You got to show your value every once in a while, right? While you're here, it's not just all jokes. But Jeff.
Well, we already screwed up the score. Good job,
Yeah.
Sean.
Did I? Oh, was it game already?
Yeah, that was game.
Wait a minute. Was Love 40? Come on.
Well,
Definitely, maybe.
it's
I thought it was 5. Okay, whatever. Sorry. So I'm sorry, Jake. Go ahead.
No, I was saying
Jason Love, continue.
Jeff has such great paddle preparation, right? He's got the double 90, elbow is up 90 degrees above and below the elbow and the armpit. Paddles up, so you don't necessarily know what kind of shot, spin, speed, or speed is coming, right? So
Very
that's-
good. Yes.
Not that deception is a huge part of the game, but if every shot you're hitting looks the same, you don't know what speed
Really,
or
what's
spin
going to
is
happen?
coming.
No question about it. Talk about a ball that'll turn a corner. When Sasha gets that kick serve going, it does have quite a jump on it.
Jeff,
But you get used
Jeff
to it.
playing nice early
Really?
in the match. That looked like a throat ball for sure coming for somebody. Here comes another one. See, he wasn't
Yeah,
as nice
he was
that
being
time.
very nice. Yeah. Well, you know, you feel like you're a guest. You want to be invited back. I don't know. You know what I mean?
First week of the season.
take a
out with
pot
a
shot out of there.
trachea
You
injury.
missed that once.
Yeah, that doesn't happen at the country club I coach.
Never.
They're pretty much going to go for the throat. That's not true. That's not true.
We joked last year, come playoff time, that if a ball doesn't go at the throat, you're out the next week's lineup.
Promoting harmony.
Well, it's like the Lovey Smith. You're either playing to win or you're playing to lose.
You know what? we need more of that in the Chicago area, and we're not going to get into football or even baseball at this point, because right now the Bulls are the best team we got.
Oh, Sasha, there it is.
Oh.
He's got, and again, I haven't seen a couple of these guys that much, but Sasha for sure has the most versatility in terms of spin and speed.
Yes. Yeah, questionably. I like that. Did we go over our sponsors, by the way? Speaking of that,
No, we
Cal?
did not.
We need to kind of do that.
Yeah, we were a little behind. That one's on me.
Can I call it the broadcast?
The telecast, yeah.
The telecast.
Absolutely.
Okay. This telecast is brought to you by Illinois Bone and Joint. Are we going to throw
Yeah,
the
we'll throw it up
logos
on the
there?
screen, but I'm not technically savvy enough to have it. And so brought to you by
Well, one
Illinois
day-
Bone and Joint. No, we'll get it
One
next
day
week.
we'll get
That's-
it.
Yeah, that
Illinois Bone
one's
and Joint Institute, Viking Paddles and Sports, and
Wintrust.
Wintrust Community Bank.
as well as the new sponsor
the
for
new
the year,
sponsor.
Volley.
Yes.
The
Volley
AI-driven
machine.
ball machine. We got a chance to. That's
Yes.
all right. I'm falling apart here.
That's all right.
All right, I'm pretty sure the game ended as well.
It did.
So we're blowing this, but
No, not at all.
we got a chance to be on the court with the volley machine, and I will say
There it
Sean
is.
was
There's a second one.
enamored.
I was.
That's not
mean,
an exaggeration.
no. That's an understatement.
Had you
I fell
not
in
been
love-
on the court with volley?
No.
You know something? I just didn't realize how technologically advanced it was, Jason. I was just very impressed with you mentioned the word versatility. I'm not going to take credit for that word because I wasn't even sure what it meant up until 15 minutes ago. So, but what I was going to say is it's a spectacular, and I'm not just saying that because they're our sponsor, but it is a spectacular machine.
It's really incredible. It really is.
The stuff, that thing, yeah, it's a matter of fact, and they keep making advancements on it where you'll get to a point where I swear it's going to be able to play a point before you.
It's pretty close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're getting, by the way, it's almost like they waxed the courts. We're getting that X-Files
There it is.
UFO lights off of the courts like it had.
First day of the season.
I love
It's
it.
got to come out.
Warm weather
yeah.
paddle.
Warm
Yes.
weather paddle, X-Files,
Yes.
home court advantage.
Yep.
Um,
Some call it Stranger Things if you want to be more topical. Yeah. Could say that.
could say Stranger Things, I suppose. Yeah.
Could say it.
Yeah.
Know what it means. Could say it. Read roller. You know, the only problem with Dan Oakes is that he's just a little too comfortable. Like depending on what you do, you really gotta go a long way to make Dan Oakes uncomfortable.
Well, I think that's a big part of his growth and his development, right,
Yes.
as a player.
Yep.
Right? Is you're willing to sit back here and hit a few more balls,
Oh yeah,
wait for a good one, as opposed to he loves cracking that forehand,
absolutely.
and him waiting for the right ball as opposed to taking the first one that comes.
Yeah, no question.
Well, hold his head up a little bit on that one.
Chunked it.
All right, 30s. Red Bank, I thought they were going to go I there for a second. I got a little charge. I don't know. Nobody else felt that? Okay, it was just me.
I saw it.
Okay, sorry. I love stuff like that. Especially if they're just kind of improvising it. Like they didn't even go over it with their partner. Hey, I got an idea out here.
Yeah, it's
like,
week one.
Yeah.
Third game of the season. Let's.
It's like a second city class. You know, you're out there. You're like, hey, okay, you're from Czech Republic. You don't know any English. You need to borrow a quarter. Go. You know.
Is that describing Sasha?
I
thought he
didn't.
was from
Is he
Serbia.
No, I know. I didn't.
Yeah.
I wasn't being that topical. You know?
Well, that was.
And I know he's from
insensitive.
Serbia
It's
because
insensitive at
he wears the Djokovic hat.
Yeah, of course.
Like every chance he gets, which good eye there from Jeff Reitnauer.
I think what's great and teachable moment here, right, is to your point about where they're going I, they're going Australian, what are they going to do? But the fact is they just moved through it like they meant to do.
Yes.
Like they had a plan.
Yes.
And I think for all the club level players, right, to realize that if you're doing your job and following the ball at the net, communicating, et cetera, whatever, during the point, it doesn't matter what shot is coming up next, right?
Very good.
You and your partner are going to be in the
Shifting
right
that
position.
clipped the line. Look at him just painting the line. Like that part of the line was dirty and he had to clean it off.
Here it comes.
Oh, here it
Number
is.
3.
Ugh.
Surprised we haven't had anyone banging on the glass yet up here.
Yeah, they are the home team. All right, Deuce.
Give a quick little shout out to Chris Warner and the Michigan Shores staff
he's
out
the
here.
best.
I don't know if you can really see by the camera angles, but he had 4 courts of ladies drills
That's-
going when
Yes.
we got here. Now there's down to 2 courts, saving for the match. But again, great paddle program here at Michigan Shores.
Good
Does he
move,
have
missed
any
it.
relation to Kurt Warner?
Not Kurt,
but
but he
Matt,
does have a
for sure.
brother who's also another North Shore pro. I think Kurt Warner was bagging groceries in the grocery store when Chris and the rest
Yes.
of us were toddlers
Yes,
in the late 90s.
he's my age.
Kurt Warner?
I might have been in the same grocery store,
The
but
greatest
I
show
was
on
in the
steel.
produce section. I think you could tell by my shape I was not in the produce section.
I don't think
Big-
Kurt Warner was that great of an
baked
athlete,
goods.
though, either.
No.
He just won a Super Bowl.
Yeah. Used
Got
to
to another
practice
one.
with rolls of toilet paper in the aisles. Did you hear about that? That's my favorite story. Not because of the toilet paper necessarily, Cal, but just the fact that he's throwing a spiral.
Wow.
Oh,
I like that look, though.
absolutely. I like the matching T-shirts, by the way. I didn't realize that at the beginning here with Danny and Sasha.
A little uniform.
Oh yeah. Shows a certain amount of style there. It's a nice. And
Just
again,
a little off-pace return.
exactly. I was going to say kind of I'll call it like a bouncing roller, in a way.
Well, I think, and I said it earlier about Sasha's experience / versatility, right?
Yep.
He's going to be the guy that is going to throw the stuff that no one else on this court is ready for.
Yes.
And I think that kind of artistry of the game is right what sets the top level players apart.
Oh,
not
yeah.
Not only can they hit the shot, but they're willing to hit the shot, make or miss,
Oh.
play the right ball. There you go.
Heavens to Betsy. Don't see that every
Do you know
day.
Betsy?
I don't. But,
Are you swearing? Cal?
yeah, well,
Okay. All right, back to Deuce. And the game that took forever. This is nothing, really. We've seen 40 of them. 40s.
Oh,
That
great
was
return.
Another good
He
snap.
took some speed off that
Sure
one.
did. Fell off the table.
next
That's
time
some talent. Yes, sir.
they clip the line, just make sure to say that they clip the line because I got a joke ready from last time. I just couldn't think of it fast enough, but I'm prepared
You know, you
now.
might want to just write that down and hand it to me, Cal.
Okay.
Otherwise, it ruins the surprise.
To be
Got it.
clear to our listeners, this is not scripted.
No.
Wouldn't matter if it were. I can't read. So, yeah, no way. Yeah, I've done the.
That looks pretty close to the line. One
just
could-
let me.
Just wait. Just give it a
Well,
little.
yeah,
just
can
give
you
it a
let me
little.
develop
I
it?
just don't want to lose it. I don't want
Let
to
me
lose it.
develop it naturally, Cal.
Sure.
You're,
All right. Get a pencil
you're
and paper.
blocking. Stop blocking.
Old Rodney Workmanism, right?
No.
A short pencil
Yes.
is better than a long memory.
God bless that guy. He's the master.
Pretty sure it's a dull pencil is
He's
sharper
the master. He's the master.
No, not
Look at that.
A dull pencil is better than a sharp mind.
All right, I'm going to say it again. You know, really, here's what, and this is, I mean, as a compliment, really,
Man,
for
that is-
Sasha.
Oh, a
It's
little
great
up, down,
shot.
overhead. Oh, he missed it.
He did.
That's
He
close to
read
the
it
line, though.
right.
So Sasha, what is it? Sasha's got he's got, technically, doesn't he have a two-handed backhand? Mm-hmm. Okay, but his one-handed screen drive is better than my one-handed. Like, he doesn't even have a one-hander, and it's a better one-hander than I do.
Yeah, I preach this a lot to players, right? If you're prepared with two hands on the paddle, whether
Yes.
it's on the throat or the grip,
Yep.
you can hit any shot. But
It's
if
true.
you only have one hand on the paddle, you're stuck with that one hand no matter what.
No, and some guys can get away with it, but I agree with you, Coach. There's an art form, and it's a lot easier when you have both hands on it. At least for generally speaking.
Yeah, well, and again, you can take, he likes his two-hander off the deck,
Yep.
as opposed to the one-hander off the screen.
That's a great shot too.
That was Sasha's perfect point right there, where he gets to dictate from the net,
Yep.
the overhead position.
Just get a guy right up on the baseline, just hit it at his feet like that.
Yeah. Obviously, the Michigan Shores guys, Danny and Sasha, have got to be happy with the start to this match, but I'm curious to see what
Adjustments.
Yeah,
maybe.
what Binkley and Rittenauer are going to bring to change this a little bit, right? Because I would say, obviously, you got Sasha and Danny that are willing to just kind of let this match play out at this point and
They
just
love
continue the
this.
same speed and pace.
Yeah, without a doubt.
There it is. He went two off the screen for you, Sean, that time.
You know
on
what?
the drive back.
It's good.
There's your warm weather pattern, Calf.
That's right. Probably wouldn't happen if it's 28 degrees. That ball probably wouldn't have popped up for Mr. Binkley, but
That's a good ball.
nice shot.
And smartly, look, so you joke about the warm weather, but you drive through, you don't rush the net. Because
No.
what's the hardest shot to hit is when you're running in as fast as you can.
Exactly.
And and 22 feet away, they're driving the ball at 50 miles an hour at you. It's not
Yeah.
the physics just don't work.
Yeah. And any hard overhead, you really don't have to move half the time if you can. All right, so I should say a break point here for Sasha and Dan.
Yeah, I think what
That's
is
a
this?
great reset for Binkley, man. He's got a really nice arc on that thing. Just hits you have to demo that. If you're out there in a class, you need somebody to demo, there you go. It's a perfect demonstration.
Well, again, same thing. Technique on these guys is all sound, right?
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
not doing anything weird.
No.
Again,
He
as
tried
we talk
something.
about
Yeah,
technique
there
and
you
no
go.
errors.
We
not-
jinxed him.
Not
Sorry,
your,
Brett.
Not your fault, Brett.
That was my fault. I take responsibility.
That's the Joe Buck syndrome
Exactly.
if I've ever seen it.
He's never missed a. Ooh,
Guy's hasn't thrown an interception in 3 years.
And a pick six.
Well, we got Matt McClure joining us in the chat, bringing up warm weather paddle. So
Thanks, Matt.
Yeah.
Are people able to do that? Can they chat us and
They
then we can bring topics up? My phone has been blowing up. You should see the list of
We
one-liners
can.
I'm supposed to add.
We take questions, especially when somebody with your level of expertise is here. Not to deprecate anybody who's here on a regular basis, but I'm just saying if we get somebody of because Coach McClure is every bit as qualified as anybody else. But go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I'm just waiting for someone to hit a line.
Sorry, I forgot about that comment there.
Well, I know.
Yeah,
It's a bit of a mouthful, so I just want to get
You do
it
have
out.
a question there, Jason?
I don't. Well, no, I was just gonna say I don't know that. Maybe the rest of the group doesn't like the question syndrome, but I kind of like it. It adds a level
agree.
of flair.
Yeah, call
and flavor.
Call in.
We've had, you know what? So back in, I want to say early 2000s, when you guys were like 3 or 4 years old.
Hardly the case.
Wait, 2000? I wasn't even born yet.
Oh, that's right. You're
embarrassing.
really. That's
I know.
incredible. Jeez. Okay. All right, Cal. You know what? So I'll get to that line. Don't worry.
And we get paid the same.
We do.
So let's let that sink in.
All right. Well,
How many short pencils do you have in your car right now? Sean and I have a bunch.
I've got a pen, I think.
I have cases of the damn thing. So, where were we going with that? I don't even remember. Anyway, so back in the early 2000s, long story short, get in.
Oh,
it's stated. Forget it.
What did that do?
This is a great point. Hold on. Binkley hit this awesome.
After the point, yeah.
That was an awesome cross-court kind of looping
He's got a nice backhand.
He does.
And again,
Did he clear that in? I think it was a little wide.
No,
but
that other one. Yeah.
Binkley's the guy that I've seen the least, right? So, at least for me
Yeah,
personally.
me too.
And again, I like that two-handed backhand. That's really nice.
Yeah. Doesn't try to overhit it. It looks like he could smack it like that. Gets on top of it.
Yeah.
Can hit it.
It's a big Western grip on that forehand.
Good eye.
Good eye.
Well, anyway, in the early 2000s, how do I say this? So I was coaching part-time, and for one reason or another, it had more to do with my accountant than anything. I ended up getting 13 or 14 weeks of radio time. Oh, I love the move, though, from Dan.
We had to, right? Great Q4.
Yes.
Go get technical, square to spare lob right there
Exactly.
by Jeff.
Exactly. And Dan's like, you know what? Well, I'm gonna change things up. He didn't hit a line there, Cal. Too bad. We'll get there.
Did on the last point.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah, that's all right.
Well, anyway, so long story short, or shorter, it's becoming longer actually. There was Tennis Rules was a radio show in the early 2000s, and yes, it was me and this other guy were host on WRMN 1410. Can I say these call signs on the News Talk Radio out of Elgin?
Well,
I don't know if I can say that. I just did.
Well, that's okay.
And it was drive time every Friday, and the only reason I brought it up is that we would have people call in. You know, they would call in, and of course, because they didn't really email us. Sometimes they would email us, but they would call in, and there were I'm just sorry to say, some goofy questions, but, then there were some really good questions, too. So you had to kind of edit them, and I trust Jason if he sees something. Get in. Stayed in. Oh, I thought it was out.
I would love some questions.
Yeah.
Well,
because it's going to also push Cal's line comment off.
Well, no,
I got one.
It's funny you say that. Matt just put in the chat that Danny Oak's last serve clipped the line, and that is why they call him the old-timey seafaring vessel, also known as the Clipper. So.
How many minutes are we into the game? And there's where
Can I be brutally honest?
That's the only kind of honesty we expect.
It was worse than I thought it was.
Yeah, the
I was expecting
anticipation.
a lot more.
The anticipation was better than the actual.
I don't know if you've ever heard that before.
I'm just saying.
I should put it on a T-shirt at this
Jeez.
point. It's
Gosh,
that hurt.
that's all right.
That's gonna hurt.
Good first volley from right now. He's solid, man.
He is really solid.
Yeah, I guess. It's funny. You get in there, usually we're looking for a backhand volley, but when he needs to flip it, he's got some good touch. Not easy to do if the ball's ripped at you. as you're moving in.
All these guys all have high level of racket skills, right? And again, for the majority of players out in the world, the reason we hit the backhand volley is to maintain control, pace, comfort, all the things that a volley should be, as opposed to more variables, right? So So they're playing with a different set of tools, toys in the toolbox here.
Speaking of which, right now, just did something we don't recommend as coaches, because he would just be bailing. He'd come right back to baseline, but he's good enough where he was able to pick that ball up off his shoe tops and come back to Sasha as Sasha moved in and was able to seize the net and keep the net.
Well,
and still win the point.
And look, this goes to the joke of the night, the warm weather paddle, right? You're not going to rush in, but you also don't have to run and retreat back.
No, not
so
at
you
all.
can play in the transition zone a lot more.
What's up? So yeah, this is cool. It's like a homecoming out here.
I love it. Yeah.
Reunions, all these people. You got the score there? Good.
Yeah, we'll take a
15-0.
quick replay too on that little
Nice
backhand off the.
What a shot! Yeah, he's good. You know what? We're fully into the UFO mode when we go overhead shot there. I'm just saying, it just looks like
unidentified flying object.
It does. It does. It looks like the lights. I don't know. I've seen too much X-Files, and I should probably be talk about a show that's even older than that, considering my actual age. But nice. So we really don't use a low compression ball much, if at all. Jace, do you ever have much call for that? Like, have you ever played match with that? Considering some people like to play a lot of summer paddle, and since the ball is just gonna hop around like what we used to call a super ball, especially in like 90-degree weather. You ever play the low compression ball?
Yeah, I have, and again, being around as long as we've been, Sean, right? We've test run all the balls, the paddles, etc.
Yes.
I'll be honest. This is not a comment to the companies that make them, but for me, I'd rather feel the real ball, right?
Yeah.
And yes, the climate, temperature, etc. Everything else changes, but the ball does not. So for me, I want that same feel through the whole course of the year.
Yes.
Now, that being said, what the companies have done an incredible job of is trying to get the feel of that ball to match and mimic the results and the variables of the temperature, right?
Yep.
So they have gotten better and better and better every year. So whether it's Xenon or Master or Viking, right? Like, and they're all going to go through their ball making process.
Yes.
That's their goal, is to make the playability as best as possible. So for me, I like just using the regular ball, but again, I see the space, and I see where it's going. And if they continue to do what they do with everything, paddles, shoes, balls, etc., everything just gets better and better.
Oh yeah. No, the one I played with was a Viking, and it was excellent, but it was different.
Yeah, and I think it's no different than if you're a golfer, right? And you've got different balls that are
a great
more
analogy.
spin ball, right? Or your flight distance balls, right? They're going to feel different. If you're in tune with that, it matters.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to shoot 115 regardless.
But that's because the highest score you can get is an 8 on a hole, right?
I don't mean to brag, by the way.
Are we talking about bowling or golf?
You know what? You take your pick, dude. Yeah. All right, so 4-1, Georgievich and Oaks for Michigan Shores. The Michigan Shores Waves, are we going to call them that?
Ooh.
Let's do the Waves.
Ooh.
I'm thinking, I don't know, is that their mascot?
Their mascot?
I don't know. It might
I
be.
think it's an owl.
Are you
No,
joking?
I'm being serious. I think
Looks like an owl.
they made it to put the letters to look like an owl.
You know what? I'm going to buy that.
So the avians,
I mean, I'm not an endorsement for buying that, but I'm going to. You don't see the owl in there?
the endorser.
In the logo there, Jay. We're going with the youngster
here. See
here.
an owl?
We're going.
Just gonna ask the question.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna ask the question.
Dude, you don't see like a little, like a cowl, like a Batman type thing going on?
So moving on.
Wasn't there
what would you
Legends
do
of the
differently?
Guardians or something movie? You probably saw that too many times. So Guardian.
So you're
All
down
right.
4-1, Sean. If you had the chance to coach this team,
This
what
is a
would you say
familiar
right now?
spot for us.
Wow, that's a really, really good. It's a good. I tell you what, I have not seen. I'm seeing lobs, but I don't see Sasha and or Dan having to move back. Well, there we go, a little too much. Because sometimes if they just get, like for instance, the closer they're going to get to the net, especially with those two guys, I just don't like the odds if you can't push them back. And I just like to see maybe take a chance, hit a few more lobs a little deeper to open up the court a bit more. Because if you can get them back, look how close. Like that, he's not going to miss very many volleys, especially if you're absolutely roping the ball at him. Like that would have to be as hard as you're going to have to hit. But if you can get them back, and this is just me, make them hit volleys from a position of less strength, I think it'd be a little bit better off. What do you think?
Well, I think what's interesting is if you were to say which team has been at the net more during this match,
It's probably got to be, Danny and Sasha.
And I would actually, dare I say, disagree with you over this.
Oh, really?
I would say, they've won most of this match
Just
so far,
staying at the
defending
baseline. And they like,
and looking
they
for
like that.
opportunities.
Yeah, I agree with
and
Jason.
They
So
counterpunch
bring them
and
in
take
is
the
what you're
net.
telling me.
Well, I think what's interesting is if they can, weather the storm a little bit, right, and say we're just willing to hit a few more balls, and when we're at the net, slow it down and try to find ways to apply some pressure,
Yes.
as opposed to force it, right, which
Absolutely.
lets the counter-punching right now kind of
Well,
dictate the pace
there's
of
also
play.
what do I want to say, shot clock, I think. Sometimes, you get to 7, 8, maybe 9 in a row, and it feels like, I got to do something with the ball because I'm going to get a little impatient. Easy to do or easy to think about. Wasn't a bad idea either, but
Well,
you'd have to set that up a little bit more.
Yeah, and I think another interesting one is because we are in such warmer weather, right?
Yes.
It's harder to kill a ball
Oh,
to
no
end a
question.
point.
Yes.
Right. So I think that they're trying to maybe add a little bit of too much spin to their overheads and
Sure.
do too much, and it's actually sitting up and coming up higher, making a little
wide.
There it was. That's it.
I like that roller.
Yeah.
You can-
But it was low. It was a little slower
Yeah,
pace.
exactly. Just like me at what I like to say, me at the prom. Let it die on a corner over there.
I don't think I've ever heard that.
Nah, I
Do people say that?
Back in the 30s, yeah, when I was a lad.
But see, there's another one, right? They played a little bit slower point at the net.
Exactly.
Won 2 in a row.
That's a little long. Yeah, they're in danger of holding there.
I love that for them,
Yeah.
actually.
Good, solid. Not an easy shot either. That's some talent. Just back into the service line with that backhand volley. Okay.
There
And
it is.
again, the right now or half volley. You can't make that. You can't teach that, man.
Well,
All right, 5-2 or 2-5, I should say.
I also think another point. Well, we got. You're forced to listen to me. I think what's interesting is, right, you say like Sasha and Danny are lobbing so well. So
Yeah.
the more overheads you hit, guess what shot they're hitting more of?
Lobs.
They're hitting more lobs,
Yes,
right?
yeah.
You don't focus as much on your overhead. Now they're going to drive a little bit more. Maybe you put a little pressure on you. You get to hit more volleys.
Sure.
Puts a little pressure on them to make a better drive as opposed to giving them what they want.
Oh, yeah.
Lob the ball, push it back, set up a drive opportunity.
It's funny now. Do you coach that? Let you want to watch with your peripheral vision, try to peek, see where your opponents are at, where they at. I mean, obviously one of them is going to be where the ball is, but you just get a feel for whether somebody is in the middle of the court, whether they're near the alley or whatever. Because there are a lot of coaches that will say, look, you can get a little peek of peripherally as the ball's crossing the net as to what the formation either is at that point or not. Do you actually preach that too?
Yeah, great question. I think it's a pretty gray answer.
Sure,
actually,
sure. Yeah.
Sean, right? I mean, look, the great Chrissy Everett story, right? Like she's 14, 15 years old out on the world stage winning major championships. Remember, she used to sit on her chair and pull a note card out of her bag. You know what it said on the note card?
don't get stabbed.
Watch the ball. No, not
Nice.
Jennifer Capriati.
Or it's Monica Seles,
Thank you. But
Cal, will you do your history first? Will you?
No, well, I knew it was. I'm just.
All
I
right,
knew
so
that was
you knew
Monica
it.
Chrissy
Seles.
Everett
Sorry,
had
I
a
was-
card that
This was a
had,
very
Yeah, to
poignant
warn her
story,
to
and you
not get-
come back with
Sorry.
wait till it clips the line.
Chrissy Everett's story said, watch the ball, right? So obviously at the end of the day, that's what we're going to teach our players is do not lose sight of the ball. But it's similar, what I'm saying, similar to watching, keeping the ball out of the line of the sun, right? if you're
Absolutely.
watching the ball past the sun, you're going to see the sun. If you're watching the ball and during that point you see out of your peripheral vision where the players are on the
Yes.
court, that's a benefit to you,
Yes,
right?
yeah,
So,
exactly.
So yes, you should be aware, but that comes with time and comfort and experience and,
Yes.
and being okay to do that
Absolutely.
on the court. Those three words, watch the ball, are still the
They
most
do
important.
yeah.
Right.
And so,
I needed a second. I tried to hold on as long as I could.
It's all right.
From that one, Cal.
Yeah, we're getting back into it. That's
Wow.
We apologize to the viewers for the.
at least it was racket related.
It's true.
I don't know if she sees it that way.
Good, probably not.
Anyway.
Probably not. Oh yeah.
So it'll be interesting now to think back again. So to that question, though, is from the backcourt, they want to lob. What kind of shot do Danny and Sasha not want to hit at the net? Right?
Yeah.
And I would say Sasha's overhead is incredibly decisive. It can be
Yes.
point ending. It's very, very intentional. He moves his overheads around very well. So the almost question becomes is, look at this, do you drive more, right?
Yes.
So that he doesn't get an overhead.
It's a great question, or a great point. I mean, part of it also, if he's going to get an
I think he
overhead,
lost it in the lights.
I think so too. If he's going to get an overhead, at least give him an overhead either at or behind the service line.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily want to give him one where he can
Do we
step
think
into
that's set?
I think that
I think
was-
it is.
Yeah,
Yep,
okay.
6-2. Do you want to?
Yep, we got to take a quick word from our sponsors. We'll be right back.
From the heart of Chicago up to the North Shore and stretching from the northwest suburbs down to Kankakee. From urgent in-office care to virtual in-home visits, we're making orthopedic care available wherever and however you need it. Because while we're adapting our lives to keep each other safe, we know that new injuries will happen and old injuries will still linger. And IBJI is here to help.
Not your bank's top priority? Here at Wintrust, we take a different approach to banking. No hidden fees or runarounds, but a true banking partner focused on your unique financial goals. Whether you're opening your first account, found your dream home, planning for the future, or starting a business, we have the financial solutions to get you there. Stop settling and start experiencing a better way to bank. Wintrust, different approach, better results.
And we're back.
Wow.
Sean, do you think you can man the cameras while I go try to fix the tripod?
Sure, I'll take a
I'll be
stab
right
at
back.
it.
Well, he's doing that. Well played. Again, thank you to Michigan Shores for having us.
Yes.
On our kind of kickoff, right? Of
Yeah, I know.
our,
This is basically
CBTC
opening
live
night.
stream. Yeah.
We should have more
Fireworks?
festivities. Yeah, I think so.
It's getting lively here in the Michigan Shores
We didn't mean
paddle hut / bar.
We didn't mean fireworks in terms of commentary. He's young, you know. I don't know. It's not like, you know. But we're not going to blame it on the fact that McClure's not here.
We are missing Matt
We are.
McClure.
Well, who doesn't? You know, that's what it comes down to. All right. As if you just joined us, by the way, you're watching Jeff Reitnauer. Formally, if I just cut the music, I should probably just bring it down, you know, like this. There we go. Of Winnetka. This is the Winnetka team, am I not mistaken there?
Correct.
From AC Nielsen.
Yep.
And Brett Binkley, his partner, is about to hit a nice reset overhead, if you'd call it that. I guess it wasn't on. Oh, look at that. Dan decides to take a little control there.
And if I may,
Sure.
sorry,
Of course.
may I? You know, that's that pretty typical play that we see a lot in paddle.
Yes.
So I'm going to put, you just praised Jeff. I'm going to put him on the spot there a little bit. So, you know, put on the shirt that says in quotation marks, not yours, right?
Yes,
he hit
yes,
the
yeah.
overhead that wasn't yours.
Probably, yes, yes.
Just by sheer body movement.
Yes.
When the guy at the net takes that overhead and moves to the left, where's it's going to go?
Yes.
Right to Danny's forehand.
Exactly.
And now they
Which
went
is what
from
you
the
want.
backcourt to the net.
Exactly.
They win that point.
And we're talking the venerable Guy Moore, who does a lot of national telecasts. He will talk about that incessantly, and he's not wrong.
No.
He said, look, at the top of the game, sometimes the difference between winning and losing for two championship teams is their ability to play as a team, where you don't take a ball that's pretty much not your ball.
It's amazing.
Yes.
And I've been very lucky to play with some very high-level players.
Yeah.
Right? And like the joke after the fact was always like, you didn't want to see the sauce. You didn't want to see the special spin or kill overhead. But every time that player on the right moves to their left,
Yep.
takes a ball, you're taking away an overhead
Yes.
that could only go to the right, to the correct side of the court.
Exactly.
Plus be dangerous, like that ball right there. And again, I know poor Jeff's not here to defend himself, but we see it all the time.
I mean, the only thing that I heard somebody said this to me, and they make a point. I think you're still fighting a losing battle. But somebody said, listen, I've been playing with my partner for so long. I know they're going to take that ball. Yes, but it still doesn't mean that that's the best strategic move for you to take, because obviously you're taking away, unless somebody's forehand is visibly or overhead is visibly weaker than, but I don't know anybody who hits a backhand overhead better than they do a forehand overhead, unless you could just switch to a left hand and hit something down the middle like that. That's different.
Well, I think
Totally
too, the
different.
hard part is it's not about who hits it, it's about where it gets hit.
Exactly.
Right? So it goes to the other side of the court. And
That's
as soon as
nasty.
it goes to the other side of the court, everybody has to move.
Exactly.
Great kill overhead by Sasha.
Yeah. Talk about
The infamous Mike Raleigh hard cutter right at the deuce guy.
exactly.
Do you guys know what the score is?
Didn't come up for air.
Well, we're in the second set, Cal.
Oh, right, but the game score.
Well, I think that's game
Sasha
right
and
there.
Danny
Sasha and Danny just won the first game.
1-0.
Sorry.
Great job.
We were having a very
A
intellectual
robust
conversation.
Yes. Yeah.
How's that
Nobody
cookie?
got.
Very good.
nice.
I didn't touch this half.
No, it's
No,
okay.
it's okay.
Please.
I'm still fixated on the owl on the windscreen.
You ask somebody, and I guarantee you it's a
But
freaking
I,
owl.
I think to your point, Sean, right? Again, so like as teaching professionals, right? We
Yes.
talk about at the end of the day, you can take that overhead, but the problem is when it goes to the opposite side of the court, you now have to move and cover the opposite
You're going to
side
have
of
to
the
shift.
court.
Yes, exactly.
And even though this is a teeny tiny little court, you still have to move to hit it.
Oh, yeah.
That's why golf is so easy, because you don't have to move to hit the ball. You can stand right there.
See, no, easy was never an adjective I ever for golf. That was another one. By the way,
said
it didn't come up for air. That thing
That
was
was
like
his
2
fourth
inches
one,
off
yeah.
the ground.
I said that today at the ladies' 9-hole golf luncheon. That I said, I was
was
like,
popular.
we're trying to recruit everybody to play paddle, and I said, good news, ladies. I said, golf is way easier than paddle. Come play paddle. And they're like, why? And I said, because the ball's always moving in paddle. In golf, it's easy. It just sits there.
Mine always seems to be moving in golf.
Crickets. I was like, is this thing on? You know.
I get that pretty often.
I had a
Crickets.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I know what you're going.
that was a
Like many
and he went after it again.
many geniuses unappreciated in our time.
15:30 here. He is just quick with that serve, I tell you. Speaking of players from the 80s, well, this guy's actually from the 70s. But, no, maybe not. The guy's name was Kevin Curran. So Kevin Curran got to the finals of Wimbledon, lost to Boris Becker.
And started Waterworld.
No. Wally
Not
World?
Kevin Costner.
Not Kevin Costner.
Different guy.
Right.
Different guy.
My bad.
I thought you were going to go Wally World on me with the National Lampoon's
No, I just thought you said Kevin Costner.
Vacation. Okay.
So is that? No, okay. I think we got
Yeah, I think
1540.
there's down 1540.
Yeah.
No more ocean-going vessel.
No.
Seafaring.
Nice switch on the backcourt there.
Oh, yeah.
It's what's interesting is you look at that set, and it was a decently decisive set, right?
Yeah.
6-2, 3 breaks.
Nice touch.
Right.
Oh.
You almost wondered, do you contemplate a switch? In that backcourt with Jeff and Brett.
Or at least in the middle of,
In the middle of the point, right?
Yep,
I love
yep,
that.
Yep.
Because play your strength. If your best return is on that ad side,
Exactly.
still return
Oh.
it. Yeah, good move.
Smart.
Let's
Sometimes
take a
just tough to
replay
get
of
out of
that.
the way there, yeah.
Little
Takes us to
stuff the
deuce.
turkey. I think that was game.
All right. Thanks, guys. So we got 2 love.
So they come back for that one. First volley.
So Jason, you're this year taking a bit of a larger role in the CPTC, if I'm not mistaken.
Can we talk about that?
Yeah,
Is it-
are we allowed to
I don't know.
discuss?
Maybe.
What's your 5-year plan?
Financially,
Where do you see us all in 5 years?
Yeah.
thank you. Yeah, no.
A little wide. Close.
As a
Right
member
now.
of the CPTC board, right, which I'm incredibly honored and flattered to even be asked, right,
well.
to be a part of it. But look, great group of people that have done this many years before
Sure,
me.
sure.
That they did all the hard work building this. That's
true.
That's the crazy part is again, the Chicago leagues are more than 2.5 times the size of any league in any other
That's
city.
true.
Across the country. So again, the really heavy lifting and the big work was done by all those that came before. But yeah, thank you. So look, the CPTC is trying to do a bunch of number of new things, whether it's bringing in new players, new sponsors, new clubs, new courts, new venues. It's really kind of a fun process, right? Trying to get people involved and grow the game. And one of the pieces that I gladly raised my hand might surprise you guys, was to sit here and be involved with you in the live stream process.
Wow.
But
I am so sorry.
I have a great time with you guys, but I think this is really important, right? As the next wave of our game.
Absolutely. They're lucky to have you, Jason.
Well, thank you.
We are lucky to have you.
Unfortunately, this will be my last stream because my uncle is no longer getting me this job. Jason,
I thought it was because of your Monica
frank
Seles
about it.
comment. But
Yeah, at least you're frank
Well,
about it.
I think that was the impetus for Jason to
Yeah,
fire
there
me.
won't be
But
anything. At least he's got a reason now. Didn't really have one.
Great shot, little lucky leg cord, Gomer
Very
Pyle
lucky.
surprise,
Take
drive him
it.
off the back screen. But no, and so my role with that is to be a little bit more involved with the live stream, coordinating with the clubs, the pros, the matches, trying to bring everybody to just kind of share the love of this game, right, and get people excited to play. But then obviously I've been involved with the tournaments for a number of years, and so still going to do all of the Chicago tournaments.
yeah, we're gonna. It just
coming
would charities without you. It just wouldn't be the same.
Wouldn't be the same. No way.
Sitting in the chair, just gawking at us for 4 to 6 hours.
Well, that's very kind of you. I love charities. That's my favorite event. And again, I owe my love to that event to the people that came before me that showed me how to do it, how to run it, how to make it amazing. I'm obviously biased, but I think it's the greatest of the tournaments / Grand Prix of the calendar season.
Oh, if anybody
for the
puts something on their
APTA,
calendar, they put that tournament on their calendar.
So,
Or
Not that the
Christmas.
other tournaments aren't important. It's just that one seems to stand out.
Sean, you seem to have a little expertise here. What do you see going on with the skyline back there?
Wow. Okay, I'm going to go
beautiful
right
for
back
one.
to the unidentified phenomenon. I mean, I think
an
that's
owl.
just not even an actual natural color sky. There's something going on. So no, it is beautiful.
lake effect.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's really underwhelming if, for those of you who aren't here with us, if you look out the window, it is orange, and it really isn't that cool. But through the camera, it looks spectacular.
Yeah, it does look.
Well, I mean, a little bit of a runaway train here, guys.
Yeah, I know.
Somebody call it Chris Pratt and Denzel Washington from the movie
I
Unstoppable.
can't be the only one that. Never mind.
Yep.
That's, I think it was
Couldn't happen.
2014, something like that.
Were
Great
you
movie.
alive then?
I just barely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Again, Sasha and Danny been very comfortable through
He's
this match.
there. He got it. Nice hustle.
Some oohs and ahs from
Be
inside the
squared
paddle hut
on
here.
top of things, man.
I think I heard somebody
there it
say
is.
great
Oh.
heavens. Oh.
Oh,
See, now that one worked, but again, he went soft.
yes.
And again, not that we're trying to advocate hitting at players or being ultra aggressive, but
Headhunting, yes. No, we're not.
that's how you make friends.
Yeah, you do.
A forehand volley by Danny. What would you say about that, Sean?
All right. Well, here's the thing. First of all, if it's below net level, I don't know. At some point, there might have just been a return that's just too good. There are times where I just realize, you know what, I didn't get a real good. Now then again, I'm much older than Dan, okay? But it's like if I hit a serve and I'm like, you know, I didn't really get a good out of the blocks, I just stay back. I'm not even going in. I may as well be better off, you know, just staying back. It also depends on who's returning.
Well, and I also think to that exact point, right? Like, what's the hardest shot in the game? The first
volley.
You know?
Oh, yeah,
so,
no question about it. I mean, I suppose if you get a 6-2-3 love lead, you can try a half volley. Look at this.
Look at
Get
that.
out of town.
Unbelievable, Sasha.
Come on. That's not even possible.
If you're going to wear pink shoes, you better have
He's
that kind of
good.
hands.
Yeah, it's true.
I also want to point out from the strategy side here, you'll notice Sasha and Danny playing much more traditional style paddle.
No question.
You know,
Oh, it was a great shot.
And of course, as I say that, he hits an overhead to the deuce court.
Perfect, yeah.
But
That's
again,
all right.
you know, they're playing far more balls to the ad side, whereas Jeff and Brett were attacking Danny, which I don't think was necessarily on paper the wrong strategy,
No.
right? But Danny's played so solid.
Yeah.
That again, they're putting 90+% of the balls to Dandy.
Yep.
And they're losing 6-2-3-0.
Right,
You
so
know,
maybe that was a little lot. Well, he played it.
now comes
Looked
the
like a
question
little
where you're
lot.
like, okay, this guy can clearly minus that one again.
There
So
you
0
go.
for 2 in that rally. But I think you look and you go, okay, let's try something different.
Maybe a little different there. By the way, I also figured out what this guy looks like. It's basically Mordor. It's like, yeah, that's Lord of the Rings right there.
Yeah, no, right. I knew that.
It'd be
But I don't
Mordor.
think I'm not
I'm
super
just saying.
familiar.
And speaking of which, it looks like, you know, Sauron is on the other side of the net right now. These Danny and Sasha are just wreaking some havoc.
I don't know if anybody heard that. Did you on the mic? Did you hear Sasha say sorry? Did anybody hear that?
Oh,
did.
Say that
I didn't
sorry
know
that
he
he
saw
took
it.
that ball.
He said sorry after he stepped to the left and took the overhead that shouldn't have been his. So again, those great players, they acknowledge that,
Yes.
right? They know that's not my ball.
Absolutely.
Oh, I'm the Joe Buck right now on
Now
the
he's
mic.
really
Every
sorry.
time I say a guy's name, they make an error.
Now he's really sorry. All right, on the board, baby. I like this too from Right Now or in Binkley. I like it. A little bit of a powwow. Let's get together a little bit. Let's have an idea of what we want to do. I like that. Sometimes the train, as you were saying, can run away where, you know, you blink and it's 4-1. You're like, we haven't even had a little bit of what a shot. I didn't think that was even going over.
He's
what a
kept
shot
his
from
speed
Danny.
really well under control.
Definitely. He's also like lanky. He's got that wiry strength where every so often he'll just whip one at your feet. Dan does. It's very disconcerting.
That's a good ball.
I like
Great
that
shot.
too.
Right under the
Square
out.
O despair right there.
Trub.
No way.
Oh, he closed a little fast. Got away
Did.
with an awkward volley.
Mordor's erupting. Look at all the shaking going on.
But again, great. Sasha loves being in that driver's seat, right? The captain's role, as we
Yep.
call it, hitting
Yep.
those overheads.
Without question. Good eye. Gotta let it go too. It looked like it might have gone long, but it didn't.
I mean, he dictates points so well. He gets you to play at his pace. And Sasha knows it. We have a great banter. I hate playing Sasha, but I love him. But I hate playing him because he gets you to play it
Yes.
how he wants. This pace, the tempo, the type,
Exactly.
the style of the game.
He's like J.K. Simmons from Whiplash.
He's in for all day.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly the
Yeah.
same. Identical twins.
He's selling me some insurance, really. What a shot. Maybe even a little slower. Better.
That's a good ball. Look at him, takes that two-hander
Kind
off
of
the deck.
saw that coming. Like that one too.
Got a little seam
seamer.
action on
yes.
that, yeah.
Oh, now this place
Getting
is starting
rowdy.
to hop.
It's getting rowdy. So Michigan Shores, great host site. They've got 2 matches going on. I'm not sure what the other series playing. Do we know?
Well, it looks
Do we have an
pretty
idea?
strong. I'm just trying to take a look on the adjacent court.
I think, yeah.
No, I think
Unless
it's-
that's the
I
same.
think this side
Oh, I see
over
what you
here,
mean.
yeah.
Yeah.
Don't look at the owl. Look past the owl to the other
So,
side.
you know, there's been a lot of owl chat. If we do ask somebody from Michigan Shores, then it is an owl. I feel like I should get something at this
What,
point.
20 push-ups? What do you want?
Every time it hits the logo, we should say
$10.
it should light up.
I'll take.
The owl
I
should
mean,
light
what are we putting on this? Like another cookie?
Oh,
You've had a couple.
I could use a
want-
couple.
For those listening at home, he's gone 3 times and brought none back or asked anybody else.
Actually,
if
that's
they
not true.
wanted.
I asked the last time.
Actually, if you look at me and you look at Cal, pretty much it makes sense that Cal's going to get the cookies, because I pretty much had enough. Well, 4-1, just in case we were wondering, but it is
Skip
happening.
just in
4-1.
here.
It's
Just
not
in
like
case.
Brett. It's not like Brett and Jeff are playing a horrible match. It's just they're just certain. You miss the wrong points at the wrong time.
Well,
Yeah.
I think, too, to that point, right, you've got Danny and Sasha, who are very, very solid players. And not anything against Brenton and Jeff, but, I mean, big PTI slope here in this match. So
Sure.
I think what would be interesting is those mathematicians, John Watrous and all that group,
Right.
that actually dive down into the numbers
He's
technically.
amazing, yeah.
Again, I mean, this is probably following the score line, right, as it should have been in Vegas.
Barstool.
But I would say this: there's a reason why Sasha and Danny have the PTIs that they do, right? And this is a great example of that.
It's true.
They're not doing anything more than they need to do.
No.
Right? They're not making unwarranted or unnecessary mistakes or errors, right? And they're just letting the game come to them and putting Jeff and Brett in a position where now, what are you going to do?
Absolutely. There are times where I will watch certain players, and I think it's almost automatic that they cannot hit the wrong shot. Like, in other words, it's almost impossible for them, depending on where they'll go. Depending on where the shot is, they're just not going to hit the wrong shot. And it's that makes a huge difference, especially at the top level.
Well, I think to that point, right? And again, in the words of some of the great people out there, right? You know, this is chess versus checkers, right? So if you're willing to hit the smart shot, regardless of what you want to hit, what you think you can hit, what you physically are capable of hitting,
Yes.
it makes a huge difference.
Well, I already know I have no
look
capability.
at Sasha hitting this ball with almost a panhandle grip right down the middle of the court, right? You know, but he knows he's going to get what he wants.
Oh.
I mean, he hit
yes.
4 literally do nothing shots to then be able to attack a ball and hit Jeff in the hand.
As they say, it's not how hard you hit the ball, it's how you change speeds.
I thought it's not how hard you get hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and get back up. Apollo Creed.
That's a perfect, it's a good move.
Oh, I
Not
like
bad
it though,
move,
right?
yeah.
Change the dynamic.
And I'd actually probably want the ball going toward Danny. That's just me. I mean, if you're going to move in, Danny was pretty much a sitting duck. He'd either have to bail or face the music. I don't know.
Well, I again, you and I, Sean, are used to coaching and teaching players at what we'll just call the club level, right?
Yep.
It's really hard to move to the left and hit to the right.
Exactly.
If you're moving to the left, hit the ball to the left.
Exactly.
Right? You know,
Yeah.
that's the direction your body and your weight
Exactly.
is going.
We'll get our camera tech out there on the
On the
corner
changeover
cam.
here?
Yeah.
If
ASAP.
necessary. Not sure you may need
Yeah,
it.
well, I assume we have another Series 2 guys ready to go
I
out
think
there
there are.
as soon as
I
we're
think
done.
we're-
So
yep,
we are
abs-
going to be bringing you
if-
2 matches this evening.
We don't want to
Yeah,
count the
if
chickens yet.
Jason's offering to go check because he's our
What a guy.
sideline
Jeez.
reporter and commentary.
Making all of us look bad. Worse.
Well,
Bad,
we don't
worse.
need Jason for me to look bad. But
Well, you ripped that thing.
like a
Awesome.
piece of duct tape off the wall.
Let's hope I don't take any paint off this time.
It's a callback to the wonderful Keith Salmon out in Pittsburgh. If you're listening, we were the ones that ripped some of the paint off your banister. We did not mention it at the time, but he wasn't there, or I would have told him.
We'll refinish it.
Yeah, don't, Keith. We're coming back.
Pay to refinish it.
But they had bigger problems because I think 3 of their courts broke on the day of the tournament, so that was.
That's true. It's a good man, Keith Salmon.
Oh man, truly the best.
Great sense of humor.
Keith Salmon.
All right. So, as I said, let's not count the proverbial poultry, because it looks like Binkley and Wright now are not ready to leave.
And for you ornithology majors out there, poultry is short for chicken. Short for.
I don't know anybody who goes out chicken watching. I don't know.
Oh.
Waterfowl, maybe. Just trying to think of any kind of fowl. He hit it. That was in there. I like that move, too. Probably hit it too hard, believe it or not. There's a point where you can hit it as you move in, and I'm sure Coach Love would back this up, but there's a point where you can hit your volley too hard, especially if you're moving in and there's a transition. You're moving to the net, the other team's moving back to the baseline, and you hit a volley. You're probably better off hitting it without as much pace, because you want them to get back there and have to dig it out of the corner of the screen. You don't want to literally rebound off the back screen because you hit it too hard. So there is such a thing as putting some touch on the ball.
Getting your opponents into archaeology.
Absolutely. Exactly. Archaeology majors.
Yeah, Jason, you're
So
back
did
on us back
he
then,
figure
Clay.
this out? I think he did.
I don't know, but we don't have all
What's
the puzzle
happening?
pieces in place just yet. But
Hey, man.
Chris Warner,
Should
you
we
want to jump
put-
in?
Kurt's
Here.
brother.
You want him? You
Yeah.
know
Come on.
it. Come on.
Here.
We got to have him on. It's like if we don't get him on yearly, we're going to lose all of our viewers.
My understanding is
Warner.
you grew up with Kurt Warner.
He's
Bagging groceries, something like that?
You know what? He had some allergy medication.
Oh,
Don't worry about it right now, Chris. So we're joined by the venerable racket sports director here at beautiful Michigan Shores, Chris Warner. Coach, how you doing?
Guys? Great, man. Great.
Fantastic.
I got to tell you, Danny and Sasha are playing lights out.
Yeah, they are. We were just talking about that, where they really haven't missed a ball. And in terms of shot selection, they're missing the ball. Look at this. Wow. Okay.
There you go.
That's a good
There
shot.
you go, Sean. Way to break the streak.
I blew it for them. Well, it's still a match point here, by the way, just so you know.
No, we do not.
Well, Sasha's cutters have been pretty tough today, and
He's hit like 4 of them, which is nuts.
the other thing that I don't necessarily understand is, there's a ton of high balls that were going into that deuce corner, and Danny just loves to go up high and hit down on those balls.
Yeah, and he's tall enough where he can actually do some damage. Not that you need to be tall, but it helps.
We were talking about that, Chris, is 80-90% of their play was going to Danny on the deuce side, right?
Yep.
It's just, not on paper that's the wrong call, but it just isn't working. You're down
Right.
6-2, 3-0 when we made the comment, right?
Right.
Exactly.
Chris, great job here. Tell us a little bit about your program you've got here at Michigan Shores.
Well, we have too many teams for 4 paddle courts.
So is that why you look so tired and sound
Yeah.
so raspy?
Yeah, and I'm just so excited right now and just full of energy. We've got 2 paddle camps coming up tomorrow. But yeah, we have 12 men's teams and we have 16 ladies paddle teams.
God bless you. That's awesome.
Yeah. So we got a vibrant program. We have a lot of, we're the only sport in town at this club, so people are playing paddle here year round.
Sure.
So it's fun. I think it's great because we use that off season where a lot of clubs are going into tennis. We use that off season to kind of really work and develop
Some plays.
parts
Oh,
of-
yeah, you get
Yep.
better. Oh, yeah.
So do you run summer leagues with that, and you just lessons and programs?
We
or?
do a lot
We
of
got another match
we do
point
a
here,
lot
by the
of
way.
in-house stuff, and we also do like combo drills. So I'll do like say ladies series 1 through 4 all coming together, or like a series
Sure.
6, 7, and 9 or something. So I do a combinations. So we get to get out with different people during the off season, and obviously people are traveling and involved in other stuff.
Deuce
so
again.
it allows us to kind of get good attendance.
Well,
It's
that's great.
Yeah.
I mean, clearly you got the people out here that are enjoying it and loving it, which
Yeah.
is
Oh,
kudos to you. And you've got a great staff, right? You got Chelsea working with you.
Yeah,
I saw
we
a
got
couple
Chelsea.
other guys out here. Cool sunglasses going on. Again, great energy. So
Yeah.
who else? How many people do you have? Who do you have working with you this year?
Not enough people, Jason. I need more people. I need more people.
What hours do you need me? Tell me when to be here.
Exactly. Yeah, I got a couple calls out. I'm gonna have to be like begging people to help me out. We got probably about 6 people, but part time, in total. But Chelsea and I are like brunt of the hours. She's been an awesome addition to the club this year, I should say. She's got
Hanging on.
a year under the belt now, so she's great. And she's just, she's a grinder, and she's positive. So it's been a good addition to the program. And she just brings that that softer touch that I sometimes am lacking.
Come on.
I think that's
I
the
don't
male versus
believe that.
female, right? There's
Yeah.
a book about that, right?
Yeah.
Mars and Venus or
Yeah,
something
yeah.
like that.
Sometimes I'm told that there's a chip, that sensitivity chip I didn't invest into early on in my life.
It's unbelievable. Yeah, Chelsea's fantastic, but again, to have that dynamic change, right,
Totally.
between your staff and your professionals is incredible.
By the way, as we were talking, right now in Binkley, pulled it back to 5-2, so they're hanging on here in the second set. Kudos to them.
So we were saying we've got 2 matches here tonight. We've got the Series 2 match, and then what's the other match going on over here on these other 2 courts?
So, you're talking about over here. We've got Series 35.
35.
Yep.
Got it. Yeah.
Yep.
So again, for those that aren't aware, here in Chicago, we go up to a Series 100. No, I'm just kidding. But,
Well, I always joke with people, Jason. I go back in the day when you're like, hey, my series is bigger than my shoe size, so I suck. And now I'm like, if your series is bigger than your waistline.
That's good. I like that. Can I borrow that one?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. No, and on that note, kudos to John Noble and Pat Lydon and Bill O'Brien and Alan Graham, who's still involved, and the whole crew.
Oh, yeah.
The CPTC that does it.
Great kid.
I mean, again, just the
Speed.
The number of players is outrageous.
Right now, are just putting on a clinic over there. He's got some speed, that dude.
Well, and honestly, it is pretty impressive. All the new just kind of changes that they're doing in the men's league. I mean, all the work they're doing with the PTI, and I think it's just, they're looking for just balancing out the divisions more. I think it's awesome.
Yeah. I also love, for example,
Oh, my.
it's a puzzle, right? They got to put the puzzle together. I'll use Series 3 as the example. I think there's 14 or 16 teams they put into Series 3.
Yep.
And they're going to run an A playoff and a B playoff and
Not your bank's top.
so much creativity, flexibility, and they've just been adaptable. I made that comment, Chris, before you jumped on, that I said that the people before us did so much more than we're doing now, right, to build it, to get it to this point.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say also, if it weren't for, it's hard to say if it weren't for pickleball, right? I mean, because it's here to stay. It's not going anywhere. But if it weren't for pickleball, I mean, platform tennis would be the pretty much the fastest growing sport in the racket sports industry, especially in this area. Because, I mean, participation has gotten...
But, Sean.
Yes, sir.
Paddle is the fastest growing legitimate racket sports in the country.
Hey now. Jeez.
See, now, Chelsea wouldn't have said that.
But doesn't Michigan Shores run a nice active pickleball program here on the paddle courts as well? Yeah.
Yes, but Jason, I can say that because none of those pickleball players are listening to the live stream right now.
That's maybe true. Yeah, maybe.
Fair enough.
Yeah. No, but seriously, you do an incredible job with the program here, and like I said, that's one of our jobs through the CPTC is we want to really highlight the clubs and the professionals that are here doing the work and getting people out there because it's I'm not going to say it's a thankless job, right? Because we get we certainly enjoy what we do, but at the same time, you do an incredible job getting people out.
Absolutely,
here, so.
Coach.
But also other guys, I'm blown away with how much Ben McKnight kind of really puts into, the league stuff too, and Billy Bean Watrous,
But he danced the match tonight. He didn't want to play. He got named in the email and didn't want to play. No,
Hold the phone here.
You're exactly right. Look, there's a huge crew
Okay, I was
that
going
goes
to say.
into putting this whole thing together.
So this has got to be Deuce for sure here. Yeah, it takes a village, as Cal would like to say. If he could, we cut him off. Shot, hands from Sasha there.
You kind of get that sense that Jeff and Brett are like there could get a little kind of tight if they can squeeze out another game here, because I feel like they're feeling it now.
That's in there.
Yeah,
that worked.
Yeah.
Well, and I made this comment earlier, Chris. I'd love to hear your input on it, but I said, look, I go, they're lobbing too much. They're giving Sasha and Danny the shot that they want to hit. Looking, that last ball was a drive off of a counter drive, right?
Yep.
So, change the dynamic of the matchup a little bit.
Totally. Well, even though Danny and Sasha have been playing awesome, there's just a little Sasha pulled out a screen drive that was a net cord, winner.
Right.
So sometimes those types of things you get the lucky rolls, and to your point, that doesn't really happen when you're just lobbing the entire time. I think Sasha's overheads have been lights out, so you got to just always worry about that too.
I remember people used to say that when they would play against Johan all the time. It's like, why would I lob it when he can just kill a ball every time, right?
Yeah.
And we've counted Sasha's had 4 or 5 kill overheads and dictating points, and just don't give him that shot. And yes, for the record, I did compare in the same sentence Sasha and Johan.
Why not?
What a dig.
He's just a man. So.
Who's that, Sasha or Johan?
No, Johan.
Okay.
He's just a very talented man.
So, Chris, with you doing summer paddle so much, and that now you're hitting the full sprint mode, right?
Yeah.
When do you take time off?
That's a great question.
Look at these guys.
I'm going to be doing 7 days a week again this year, Jason.
Yeah.
Maybe I take a week off to go to Ireland. In-laws have a house out in Ireland, so we go there every other year.
Awesome.
Where in Ireland?
Castle Gregory. So it's it's not too far. It's a County Cork is really where it is. But it's beautiful out there. It's like a town of 200 people.
And it's not on the paddle court at Michigan Shores.
It is not. So. You open up the shades, and two sides of the house are facing the ocean. Cobblestone fence. Yeah, it's not a bad place to go.
Well, you certainly deserve a break for sure.
Yeah,
with all the hard work you put in here, with all the teams, and so 26 teams. That's incredible.
Yeah, it's pretty solid. I just got my little congratulations on 15 years at Michigan Shores.
Is that right?
Oh.
Congrats.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I sound like I've been here for 15 years, don't I?
We are catching you on a Thursday. At what time? 7 o'clock? Yeah,
Yeah.
It's...
Well, those 7 a.m.
That
lessons.
doesn't happen.
There's your warm weather paddle, Cal. Sorry, I took your headset. Cal, he didn't get benched for his Monica Seles comment. We just only have 3 headsets, and I took it. So.
Yeah, when the high backhand leaves the court, it's lively.
It's
like a high backhand volley.
Exactly.
Are they going to go get it? Or are they just going to come
Somebody's
and get
out
a new
there,
ball?
yeah. I believe Brent Binkley just left the court to find it.
So you said you got some camps coming up. What do you got cooking?
Just like preseason paddle camps that we a lot of the clubs do. We have seven time slots this year. So we had a couple evening time slots 2 weeks ago, and then this week we got a couple morning and afternoon ones. So it's good to get people out and just kind of some of the people that are not playing during the summer. It's a good kind of way to kind of retool and refocus.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, just to give you an idea, the players at our club, they're doing a preseason camp here. They go out to Telluride, they go out to Connecticut. They're like, hey, I want to go to Camp Kawaga. And I'm like, I would love to see that family statement.
Yeah.
You know, a good four camps in the months of like August to October.
Well, we were talking about that earlier. You know, the Chicago, the depth of the men's and women's leagues, right? The quality of
It's
players
unbelievable.
is just so high, right? It's you know, players here are talented and they're good and they play a lot and they earn it and they deserve it.
And that's really what it comes down to. I mean, just you got to put in the time, right? I think you know, it's like anything. It's like you see the growth because when people are playing all the time and then they get kind of addicted to their improving, you know, they see skill sets that are appearing that weren't there before, right? You know, it's
Makes the game more fun.
yeah, totally.
I love the comment, and feel free to chime in. I love everybody's input on this. But when people just go out and play a lot, right, they're basically saying we're not going to put as much emphasis on the improvement. We're just going to go play, right?
Yes.
But the people that come to camps and drills and lessons, et cetera, and do all the things to improve themselves, right, they're the ones that are putting in the time and the emphasis, right?
Yeah, I think, you know, it is interesting because I think, like, there, you can see with certain players, like, you know, they would be benefiting from, like, just one-on-one lesson for just that one area of their game that they're struggling with. Right, and the difference between, like, you know, the players that cap and the players that break through are the ones that are willing to be, you know, vulnerable and be like, hey, I got to work on this.
Take a step back
instead of hiding it for 15 years. You know, you're like going to work on it. And I think, you know, it's being honest with yourself, right? And I think if you be honest with yourself, you have the ability to improve. You know, I feel like, you know, it is obviously logging the hours, but, you know, but then also, like, gotta be, you know, just tweaking the things that need to be tweaked. You know, just there's a lot of people that do go to practice.
Oh yeah.
And they play the same game. Same, you know, positives and same negatives in their game.
It's hard to be an adult and a learner at the same time.
Yeah.
Well, you clearly are doing a great job here, and again, kudos to you and fantastic work. And look at this place is booming with the huts full of males and females drinking cocktails, watching paddle on a Thursday night. So,
if you know, one of the things I do think is special about this club is the view, how we get to look down onto the courts.
We were saying that earlier.
It's just, you know, you really get a good bird's eye view. I'm trying to think of another club. You know, Salt Creek has
yeah, I was going to say Salt Creek. But it's a little farther away, right? A little different view,
And there we go.
There it is.
Good match, boys.
Wow. The score belied the performance there.
Hey, and again, big thank you to Chris Warner.
Absolutely.
I want
the best.
I want to say I'm so happy to have you guys here because, like, when I saw, you know, Matt, and he was like, hey, you know, would be able to, I'm like, absolutely. I love it. When you guys are here, it's always great. My members love it, so it's awesome. And by the way, my players, I mean, if you can't tell, they're wearing matching shirts.
I was going to say.
They knew it was a live stream night.
Sasha always knows when it's a live stream.
They're prepared for the live stream.
All right, boys, thank you so much.
Thanks,
for
Coach.
having us.
All right, we'll be back for match number 2 pretty soon, won't we?
Yes, sir.
After these messages.
From the heart of Chicago up to the North Shore and stretching from the northwest suburbs down to Kankakee. From urgent in-office care to virtual in-home visits, we're making orthopedic care available wherever and however you need it. Because while we're adapting our lives to keep each other safe, we know that new injuries will happen and old injuries will still linger. And IBJI is here to help.
Not your bank's top priority? Here at Wintrust, we take a different approach to banking. No hidden fees or runarounds, but a true banking partner focused on your unique financial goals. Whether you're opening your first account, found your dream home, planning for the future, or starting a business, we have the financial solutions to get you there. Stop settling and start experiencing a better way to bank. Wintrust, different approach, better results.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are in the midst of figuring out which match we're going to be able to bring you. There is another Series 2 match starting soon, or we're going to try to move the court that is going on, Court 2.
Yeah.
We're going to try to get that moved over.
From that perspective, we can see a little bit of it right there.
Yeah.
Somebody sitting there. That's a nice
live
serve
commentary,
motion.
and that's a beautiful shot. But anyways, please stay tuned. We are going to take a short break, get some cameras fixed, get the lineups for you, but we should be back here hopefully in 5 minutes with either a new match or a slid over match.
You betcha.
Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the CPTC Live. You're joining a match in progress, and I must admit, we have no idea what the score is.
And we got the first names down, though.
That was the first set.
And first set, and Vinny and Arun are playing.
We're in the first set. Sorry.
And Vinny and Arun are not playing for Michigan Shores, or are they? I think
we'll get back to you. Quickly, let's take a moment from our wonderful sponsors, and apologies for the black screen. That'll be fixed next week. But as we start our second match, just a reminder that none of this would be possible without the illustrious healthcare professionals at Illinois Bone and Joint, the mechanical engineers at Viking Paddle, the financial experts at Wintrust, and the AI experts / overall experts at all things paddle over at Volley. One of our new sponsors this year, and we are very thankful to have them. So we're back live in the match, and we will get the scores and the respective players and what is actually happening on the court now. We apologize for the
I love the extra action, though, we're able to handle.
Oh, my gosh.
We're able for the extra action, which is cool.
So on the far side by the Owl, we've got from Michigan Shores, we've got Team M&M, we've got Mick and Matt over there.
Do we know, are they the ones that are up?
Yes.
Okay.
They are up 5-2 in the first set.
Wow.
Okay.
They got to be pretty good. Because the one guy I do know out there is Arun, who's serving right now. He's an excellent tennis player. Phenomenal. And so he's obviously gotten even better at platform. That's a big return there from... That's
Matt.
Matt?
Matt.
Oh, that was
Matt in the do side, Mick in the ad side.
And so this is Arun serving now?
Yep.
Yes, correct. Vinny, who was mentioned in the CPTC email with his big match comeback tonight.
Really?
Yeah.
That's Vinny Gassain. Is that right? I'm taking a stab at the last name there.
Gasson.
Okay, I'll go with that.
It
sounds like waiter in French. I don't know. But good hands there. We can get rid of that.
Actually, thinking of garçon, and that's boy.
Oh, I thought that was...
Well, it's just kind of slang.
Well, you just took more French than I did. Funny thing is, on the tennis court, that goes in. Just so you know. He's got nasty forehand.
I think that was set.
So that's set. 6-2. To Mick and Matt, and we're pretty sure Mick and Matt are the guests.
Michigan Shores.
Michigan Shores.
They're the home team.
They're the
Owls.
home team. Well, the Owls are.
Well, we hate to take another break, and especially to cut Sean off. That's one of my least favorite pleasures in life. But we're going to be right back after a word from our sponsors.
From the heart of Chicago up to the North Shore and stretching from the northwest suburbs down to Kankakee. From urgent in-office care to virtual in-home visits, we're making orthopedic care available wherever and however you need it. Because while we're adapting our lives to keep each other safe, we know that new injuries will happen and old injuries will still linger. And IBJI is here to help.
Not your bank's top priority? Here at Wintrust, we take a different approach to banking. No hidden fees or runarounds, but a true banking partner focused on your unique financial goals. Whether you're opening your first account, found your dream home, planning for the future, or starting a business, we have the financial solutions to get you there. Stop settling and start experiencing a better way to bank. Wintrust, different approach, better results.
And we're back. Speaking of unbelievable.
Here we are, Michigan Shores.
Yes.
Kickoff night.
See, I figured I'd put a little, almost like a reggae thing, because it's like, we're in the shores. The shores.
For our Patreon supporters.
Yeah, man.
You can tune in to hear the mic feed while we're cut. But it's only for our paid subscribers.
Got it.
That's a joke. We don't have that. And
How much is it to pay?
I don't.
$5 a month. You didn't ask for it, but now you get to pay for it.
It's $5
That's
a
our
year
motto.
now.
All right.
All right. Looks like we're starting it out here. Hacking with our paddle here at lovely Michigan Shores Club in historic landmark-ridden Layton.
Landmark-ridden, yeah.
Yes.
It's no golf Illinois, but
no,
it'll do.
but a beautiful view of the lake. Well, so look at that shot. There you go. That's the forehand I'm talking about for Maroon. That thing just dipped. I think fell off a table. Anyway, 15 all. Look at that.
Oh, great
He's
ball.
there. Summer paddle. Well, I guess it came
something to do
down.
with the weather.
You know, we teach a lot about the server's partner, right? And I don't want to put Matt on the hot seat here, which again I love doing because they can't defend themselves. But you know, the server's partner stands there and kind of does nothing, and that drive down the line can often be very effective.
Yep. That was better.
Good ball.
That was a really good ball. If we hit that first panel with that first overhead, which was nice.
Matt is serving.
Matt.
Okay.
No, Mick.
No, okay, I did have it right.
Mick Parks, who I believe, I don't want to misquote, but I believe he was a collegiate lacrosse player at Virginia.
Wow.
Which, if you're a lacrosse fan,
Which
that's
we are
big,
not.
That's big
but
time.
That's
That's
impressive.
big time. Yeah.
We only watch paddle, Sean and I. We had to, as part of our contract, cut out the NFL, NBA, and the hard one to lose was lacrosse.
Yeah, for us.
The
Yeah.
hard part is we're the only people broadcasting, so that's a lot of watching yourself.
Yeah, I try to not let it get to my head.
At my age, I just forget it's me. I just think it's somebody else.
That Larry King just sounds so youthful.
So we have, unfortunately, another little bit of a lopsided match here, right? 6-2. We didn't see much of this match, so we don't know if it was one break or two breaks. It could have been three, you know, depending on the score. But again, a good match here. Hopefully, Vinny and Arun can get themselves into this. We didn't see much of the first set, so we can't give much right now to say what happened or what they need to change or
Well, you know what
any
they
of
say,
those
Jason?
coaching tips.
A good match is a long match.
That's true.
It's a good drive.
In the words of the great Rod Workman, it can only be a great match if it goes 3 sets and both teams have match points.
Wow.
Which, if you think about
Another
it, that's
great
true,
return.
right?
Yeah, it's absolutely true. Got a little break point here to get Vinny and Arun on the board. And he missed a serve. Little gift. Little fruit basket there. That happens. All of us. Me especially.
Edible arrangements?
Absolutely.
You should meet his wife.
I make, yeah.
That sounded worse than it was. She
It
just
did.
likes
It sounded.
but she
it sounded
genuinely
really,
enjoys.
It sounded really bad.
been-
I thought that Celis thing was bad.
All right.
That might have been worse. What a pick from Arun and a great move from Mick, figuring that Matt was going to hit a great return, which he did. Let that be a lesson to you at home. If you know that your partner is able to hit returns that well, feel free to take advantage. That goes for pretty much every. It's a great serve by Arun, by the way. Just enough of a problem where you had to take it off the screen, but it kind of died a little bit. Pretty much. Okay, so Coach Love, just want to ask you a question about the I formation.
Yeah.
Because there are some people who don't, and I'm one of those people. Sometimes I really believe that the I formation can be more problematic depending on how you know whether the ball's going to pop up or not. And or which way you think
You mean
the guy's going to pop
problematic
up.
for the serving team or the
Yeah,
returning
serving
team?
team.
Yeah.
Because as I move in, I'm pretty sure I know which way my partner's going to go. But if I'm not really sure, there's a slight hesitation where if you're playing Australian, I know he's staying on one side or she staying on one side of the court. So when I move in, I know exactly where I'm going to end up generally.
Yeah, I actually think what you said there, Sean, clarifies a lot of it. You know,
Okay.
and what I love teaching is there's very distinct differences between Australian and I formation, right? Australian means you're going to put a player on the cross court opposite end of where the returner is hitting the return that the server is unable to get back. I formation is where you put the server's partner directly in front of you.
Yep.
And you're going to signal which way you're going to go.
Exactly.
The problem I have with signals and movement, etc., is exactly that. You have signals and movement that can go wrong or go bad,
yes,
or not work, right?
Yes.
Whereas playing kind of straight up Australian, where you put that player opposite, right, and you just say, okay, Matt, if your best drive is cross court, I'm going to put my server's partner and my drive defender right there in front of you and take it.
Exactly. No, that's really the way I've been coaching it for years. Where, hey, look, if you really want to go formation, there's going to be a lot of things you have to work out. It probably works out a lot better on the tennis court than it does on the platform tennis court. By the way, this is Matt Harris. And it's funny, it took me a little while to figure it out, but I've known Matt Harris for a long time, and I just recognize his stroke. So just an excellent player. Son of the great Miles Harris, by the way, former director and just tennis player extraordinaire from Lakeshore Country Club. But not only is Matt an excellent platform player, but one of the nicest guys out there, dude. Oh, gets a seamer. See, it's the nice guys. There we go, a little Joe Buck action. It's the nice guys that get the seamers. You know what I'm saying?
It's the truth.
You know, it's the way things go. Haroon's heating that forehand up.
I think.
Oh, look at that.
I think, too, to go back, Sean, to your Australia versus I
Yes.
formation, I think the hard part I have with the I formation is, again, and all four of these guys are incredibly talented racket skills and athletic players, right?
Yep.
You know, so if you go back to the simple physics math equation, you're 20 feet away, a ball going 50-plus miles an hour, and you're going to crouch down in the center of the net and then guess which way the ball's going to go and hit a volley.
Exactly.
It just, to me, that doesn't calculate,
No.
right? So from the teaching professional side, let's try to take as many of the variables as we can under control, right? And put ourselves in the position to be able to control as much of that
Absolutely.
as possible.
No, I'm totally with you. There's only one team that I was coaching at one point, and they were on the East Coast, and it was at the Larchmont Shore Club. This is ages ago. Okay, so they were really more along the lines of a conventional formation. The I formation really wasn't as in vogue even on the tennis court. But these ladies that were playing, one of them, and I'm just going to say, she was so vertically challenged, she can actually get away.
Hey,
all right, so
careful.
I'm just saying, vertically challenged. Were we going to go? Are we doing a little sponsorship after the first three games?
I'm
there?
just trying to fix it.
Cal,
Don't
I appreciate
worry about
that.
me. Don't worry about
I
me.
like that. That's fine. All right, so this is Mick to serve. I shouldn't say no. I take that back. This is Vinny serving. So they're still up 2-1 in the second set, and they are still up a break in the second set, having lost the first set 6-2. But they're still plugging away, man. I'm liking the vibe a little bit more. First volley might get going to hang in. Oh, Nick City. And he decides a screen drive after that one. Very stylish. Most people wouldn't be. I love the surprise there. So even off balance, Matt usually would lob that ball, and that's probably what was a little bit disconcerting for Vinny and Haroon, where Matt would lob that ball, but he just decided to flex a little screen drive, and he got away with it. Smart.
I hate to do it, Sean. I'm going to do it again, but I'm going to question the move into the net. Right. So it was not a great overhead. It was 10 to 12 feet in the air.
Exactly. Right.
That's clearly a drivable ball. Why are we rushing into the net? Right. Again,
That's a good point.
The math is the ball is descending at 40 to 50 plus miles an hour at 20 from some feet away. Right. So to me, that's stay back. Play the volley. If not, chase it off the screen.
Bale
right?
shouldn't even have been there to have to deal with that screen drive.
Again, if we're cold weather paddle, I little different answer, right?
Yeah,
or
I got
warm
you.
weather paddle.
Yeah, right.
As the bearded guy would say, which apparently is his nickname online.
Magic.
Bearded Magic. Yeah.
Sounds like a new product there. I may have
It
to go with
probably
it.
is.
Do they have an anti-gray? He decides, okay, now that's a little uncharacteristic of Matt Harris. Not that he doesn't have that shot. terms of driving the ball, but that was up near his eyes. Probably just at the last second decided to take a swing at that thing.
What I preach a lot, Sean, to that
Yes, sir.
question is you can be ready to drive and drive. You can
Yeah.
be ready to drive and lob. But you can't be not ready and drive.
I love that. I've never heard that. I'm gonna steal that next time. Give you full credit, of course. And, of course, after I tell him he blew that one, Matt hits one of his patented topspin drives at Vinny's feet and was able to get away with a return there, return winner. Still a point to hold. Go ahead, Coach.
Yeah,
Sorry.
no, I was going to say, I love, again, opposite, unfortunately, to Jeff and Brett of our first match, right? I love it seems, again, whether they were adjustments, changes, et cetera, they're playing better, they're settled down, but the score is showing us that we've at least done something a little different
Stem
to
the tide,
change
yes.
the dynamic of this match.
Absolutely. Yeah, there was a point where they have like golf scrambles where you get just different rules. Can't really do a lot with paddle when you do that stuff, but I always felt like if you're able to hit the logo and it lights up, the next point wins the game. That point wins the ensuing point. So you could be down low 40 and you hit the logo, light it up, and the next point wins.
Well,
regardless.
and
What a shot.
I'm giving away something that people pay for here.
Was that right?
But the logo on the windscreen, right?
Yeah.
So you're hitting that reset or center panel overhead.
Yeah.
It should always be at or below.
Yes,
ideally
usually.
below the
Yeah,
logo.
exactly.
You know, so like we draw in chalk, we put the reset box, the ring of fire, whatever you want to call it, we put it out there,
yep.
right? But that
Square of
logo
despair.
it's on every court.
Yep.
So when you hit it to that spot, don't be surprised at the response. If you're above it, it's going to be a
absolutely.
drive. If it's
Oh, no
below
question about
It's
it.
going to be a lob.
At least it's
That was
down the
game?
middle. It was game.
For Vinny and Arun.
I believe so.
Okay, it's up 3-1.
So they're up 3-1. Looks like a Univision hat. I kind of like that. Good eye. I would have hit it. I know. That's not an endorsement. Here we
Can
go.
we
It's a
do
good move.
non-sponsored endorsements?
Sean doesn't do endorsements.
Well, it's like my agent never calls me. Let's put it that way. I think the last one I got was a margarine commercial in 1981. I think.
Land O'Lakes?
Head and Shoulders.
I did a Head and Shoulders ad. Yeah, I admit that. Freely and without hesitation. Not because I had dandruff necessarily.
But you could say you suffered from it.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
I
you
not that
enjoyed
I've never.
the
No,
dandruff.
yeah, I enjoy it. That's why. No, I just wasn't. This wasn't even my shampoo. I just got the gig. So at that time. Whoa! Come on! That's not even possible. Look at that, Mick.
In magic, all things are possible.
Mick, yes. In the world of magic, that was awesome. Mick kind of in a knockdown. We don't have a replay of that, do we? Knockdown backhand. Don't worry about
I
it.
broke the streaming software.
Did you? Okay, great.
Yeah, so
Super. At least
we're
you're
still
honest
streaming,
about
but I can't touch anything. So
it. It's okay.
It,
I forgive you, my darling. Oh, that's a good move.
I think we're fine.
Sometimes when Vinny moves in like that, it's a great move, first of all. But you really don't want to hit it that hard, especially in the summer. At least that's what I usually tell people, because as you move in and you're actually getting a transition, you're moving to the net, your opponent's moving back, anything coming off the screen is going to be much easier for them to get back. So you might want to just kind of coast it into the corner very softly.
Well, speed kills, right, Sean? You
Exactly.
alluded to that in some way there, right? You
Yeah.
know, but
In an
there's
unintelligent
Arun
way,
taking
yes.
a ball that's not his.
Bingo.
But the problem is the ball went to the deuce side again. We get a little out of position.
Yep.
But the great Jerry Vianto, he said, you never hit a ball that you're unwilling or not capable of moving as fast as.
Wow.
Right? So if you're not,
Wow.
if you hit it so fast that you can't get ready for the next shot, shame on you.
I
Right.
love that, too.
Isn't that great?
Twice.
All this,
Yeah.
geez.
Fool me 3 times.
Okay, uncharacteristic forehand return error from Arun. We'll give him a 2-3, I should say. Or they'll be serving a 3-2, I should say.
Well,
Yeah.
again, the nice part here is that they've at least following all the great one-liners, right? They've weathered the storm, right?
Yeah.
They've righted the ship.
Right, exactly.
We're at least making a match of it. Again,
Yes.
to be fair, we didn't see the first set, so we
No.
don't know what that 6-2
Not
looked
exactly
like.
sure. No.
As a number of our players have always said, right? Like 6-2, every game went to deuce. I'm not sure. I mean, we were right there.
My favorite of the 6-0s everyone to do.
Yeah, every game.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
What a guy.
The hospitality here at Michigan
It's
Shores
phenomenal.
It smells amazing in here. Right
It does, doesn't it?
it smells like a place
A
that
little
serves good
pickleball.
food.
Some pickleball is broken out on court. Was this court 1, by the way?
I don't know if it's technically court 1, but the court 1 matches are, yeah.
If you've just joined us, by the way, we must tell you we are at Michigan Shores, lovely Michigan Shores Club.
Landmark ridden.
Landmark laden, Wilmette, Illinois, yes. And we're watching the Owls of Michigan Shore. We're not even sure it's the Owls.
We know it's the Owls.
Cal
And we had
surmised
Chris
that
here, and we didn't
really
ask
ask him. But that was a shot. Don't try that at home, but that was amazing. From Mick there. The Owls of Michigan Shore versus the
Are we sure it's an owl? I'm still not.
Yeah, I
the
know.
Willows.
Can we have people
Chris,
text
yep.
in? I
I
know
don't
there are
know. What a
people watching
shot.
and listening.
Yeah,
Tell
is
us,
From Matt Harris.
does that
owl?
logo look like an owl?
Well, that's not the question. The question is it meant to be an owl?
Meant to be? Okay, yeah. Well, see, now that you've said that, and then I keep looking at it,
You tell me you don't see
looks
it?
like an hour to me. Yeah, I guess you got to
I
say
mean,
that.
it's like those books when you're like 6 and you look at the pictures,
Yeah,
or
I
a
read those all the
therapist.
time. What are you talking about? The Rorschach test? Yeah.
What are you seeing here?
It's an owl.
It's not an owl.
That's my Aunt Gertie.
Let's get one of the Michigan Shores guys down here. Talk to Danny Oaks. Big oak tree.
So what's interesting, again, in the warm weather, right, you see a lot more roller overheads, right, because they stay low. And here we are in another situation where they're rolling and hitting 75, 80% of their overheads to the deuce player. And again, you know Matt. I don't know Matt, but he seems to be handling it okay.
Very well. Yeah.
You know,
No, he'll take that all day.
Like there, that's a ball that you're rolling to the deuce side that now you have to slide over and cover. And as I tried telling all my former teammates at the Lake Forest Club, you cannot hit that ball there to that side. It just doesn't happen. It doesn't work.
Matter of fact, that's the other thing. Even at the top level, although you do see a lot of swinging of the ball going from deuce to add, or add to deuce, it isn't always a good idea. Although the top guys at the top level will react to a swung shot a lot more quickly, but it still puts you out of position potentially. That's a nice serve.
Yeah, I don't think it's potentially. Potentially, I think it's a fact, right?
Okay, yeah.
You know, if you make it simple and you're right. Look, Matt right now has 1 foot on the deuce side. Mick Parks has 2 feet on the ad side, right?
Yep.
If every time you hit a ball, you have to have at least 3 shoes on the same side of the court, when you go from one to the other, one person has to move both their feet to get all the way to that other side. So it's just the math, again, doesn't work in your favor.
Even if you got somebody the size of Cal Noble,
He's big.
big
I'm
guy,
tall. I'm not big.
take one step to get to the other side,
What
but
was
you're
it?
still
What
right.
was Guy Moore's? If I walked past a tree, it would take me 2 years to come out on the other side.
That's so Guy.
Yeah. I'll
like
save
a
the pleasantries
deep- it
of
was like
doing
a-
the voice.
It was like a deep dig, you know.
No,
Yeah.
I appreciated it, especially set in his cadence.
Yeah, he's got that little southern drawl.
Mike.
He does have a good little draw.
Yeah, he's talk about
We're
a
big
knowledgeable
fans
dude too.
of Guy
Of
Moore
Guy,
here
absolutely,
on the yeah.
absolutely.
I mean, how could you not?
That's a nice overhead.
He's that guy.
Good flex. All right, knotted up at 3-all here in the second set.
Love that. Getting a match out of it.
Exactly. Mick and Matt
Great lob by
ran for
Arun
Michigan
to set it
Shores,
up.
and Matt is there.
Good move. Let's see what they do with this here. But see, look, they're going right back deuce side to Matt. Let's see what happens. They've got the matching orange shorts on, so that's a plus.
And it is.
Well, Matt's got to turn his on because the other ones are turned on.
Can we also just get a shout out to the Chicago Platform Tennis Charities for getting us a match where we had Kurt Warner's brother in the booth and Ed Harris's son on the court. The star-studded is striking.
Celebrity classic.
Yeah.
And
Please
he
stay
loves
tuned.
his
Good shot.
forehand. Great play. See, what's the number one missed overhead?
The one that goes out.
Right-handed players to the deuce
To
side.
the deuce side.
Yep.
Yeah.
And for you lefties, that goes the
other
opposite
way,
direction to
left
the right.
to the
Yep.
to the outside. I also like the shot prior. I really like what Vinny will do every so often.
God.
What a shot! Vinny will do every so often where he'll fake kind of a lob, and he won't rip a screen drive, but he'll just kind of dink one. And I really like that shot, just as kind of a check, because sometimes you can catch a net player or a flanker, as I like to say, somebody who's flanking the net player, off balance a little bit. It's a good serve.
This has been a rough patch. Was that 3 straight games?
It was for Mick
4
and
straight
Matt.
games?
Four straight games, I
Yeah.
think.
It's 4, yep.
Ouch.
Or
I mean,
Well, 3, no, they were down 3.
No, you're right, yeah.
But it's okay. It's still a run of games here, and I think Coach Jason's right that we got to be a little more cognizant of what got you to the 3-1 lead.
I mean, they missed 3 returns in that game, right?
Yep.
At least 2. So I think, look, they've been battling. Let's just
Yep.
right the ship, take a little second here, and get back on it.
Hey, what's the old adage? If my partner misses their return, I can't miss mine. It's like, look, man, if you got to lob it, can't 2 in a row is just not a good idea. So right now, Matt, there we go. I'm just going to say, you want to go for it. Let's see if Mick misses one.
I'm gonna do it again, Sean. I don't disagree that you have to make your return, but it doesn't have to be a lob, right?
No, I'm just saying you can just lob the ball if you need to.
Yes.
My point
Yes.
is you just don't miss it.
Correct.
I didn't say you had to lob it. Yeah. I appreciate
put an
you.
easy drive in there, because the return of serve is the one shot in
Yes.
the paddle that you can set up for a drive. Now again, you might have to lob it.
Matter of fact, you can set up for one side.
Correct.
Yeah.
They have to hit it in that
Exactly.
11 by 11 box.
You're basically batting.
That's where it
Yes.
goes. So the point is you set up for your drive on that, and if you absolutely have to lob, great, fine. But I just take your pace off, right? Slow
Exactly.
down. Good move. Both sides
He's
are now
there.
both
He's there.
sides are now
Get
return
out.
blitzing.
Oh, nice try.
But a
There
better
goes Sean rooting for a team again.
No, I'm rooting for the shot there, Cal. Besides, it might have clipped the line. I just want to make sure you get your line in for this one. For those of you who didn't hear it last
That's
match.
great. Well, one, that was a joke, because, Sean, I feel like you always,
What a return.
every time feel the need to say that you're not rooting for people, but tonight you didn't. So
See,
I
I'd
had
love to see
take the
Arun
opportunity.
take a step to his left and help his server's partner out there.
This is completely off topic, but you know who would have a fantastic paddle serve? Casper
Monica
Ruud.
Sound. Oh, nice.
Can you imagine that kick serve on a paddle court?
Oh, yeah.
It'd be like a serve that's
That
really
would
good.
be huge, yeah.
It'd have a lot of spin on it.
Anyway,
It'd be like what are those? Like a carousel.
Now, since he's from Norway, would he play with a Viking paddle?
oh my
Well.
gosh,
Scandinavian.
it's getting weird. in
It's
here.
really weird.
Just the way we like it here at the CBTC Live.
I've missed you guys.
I'm
It's a
just
long
saying.
summer.
Yes.
I'm trying to make
God, it's been a
the
long
round
summer.
peg fit here. Good
Speaking
hands.
of that, Harris.
Oh, yeesh.
I don't know if I'd be pulling that off. Good flip there
getting
from
weird.
Matt Harris. There we go. That's a big. Well, he might pay for that.
Yeah.
You're going to pay for that.
Again,
Yeah.
too many balls to the deuce side
Yeah.
from the deuce side, right?
Yep. And you know what? If Arun's going to try that, you may as well just absolutely, as I like to say, lambaste that thing, because it's going to come off the back screen, may at least make Matt Harris move all the way to the net to get to it, and then bail.
Yeah. Sorry, what I meant by that was not deuce side to deuce side, but deuce side from the same side, right?
Right,
So,
I know what
so
you
then
meant.
you and your partner have to slide over to cover, but it's going to be a drive no matter what.
Absolutely. All right, we got deuce. This is a big one. To quote Judge Schmales,
I used that line earlier today. We don't want to be Bushwood.
Billy. Yeah. Well, it's either that or it's Naked Gun 2.5. I don't know.
No.
Exactly.
Good ball.
Wow. It's kind of a teaching pro move right there. Just stand in no man's land and hit a little. Yeah. Oh, a little indecision, but it worked out.
Good. Look at.
Oh, it's going in.
That's a great lob.
Yeah.
Now let's see if they can take some time here and control the net, right? It's been back and forth twice now.
Exactly.
There. Counter drive back. Good
That's
ball.
good. That's really good touch.
Good. And look, Vinny doing a great job, right? He didn't take that overhead. Did you notice that?
Nope.
That's what we talked about earlier.
You let it go. Doing your job
Jason
means
just
not
pointed
doing.
to me like I know what country we're in right now.
Sometimes doing your job means not doing my job.
I'm
That was
locked
my
in.
my favorite phrases of all time.
Jason, what's your favorite phrase of all time?
Oh,
Favorite phrase.
that was
of
going
all
in
time.
for the
It
record.
doesn't have to be paddle related.
Nick's drive
that's
was
a
going
great
in.
question.
Everybody's
it
been
is what
there.
it is.
No?
Vinny tried to get
That's a
his
good one.
racket out of the way. I'm not sure that wouldn't have stayed
Sean,
in
what's
anyway.
your favorite saying of all time? Let's make sure we stay on topic here, Sean.
All right, well, yeah, I'm gonna
And I
let me
think
get
this
back to you.
segment has run its course.
I think so too.
Oh, but see, look, that little move by Mick Parks, right, just makes him.
Yes.
We talked about the peripheral vision earlier, right, Sean?
Yep.
He saw him, right, and that's all it took was him to miss that volley.
Absolutely.
Which
my
Vinny's a
favorite
great
phrase.
volleyer.
I got it. My favorite phrase is, and I'm going to try to say this in a clean way. It's not that it's got any profanity in it, but you never know how good you can be until you figure out how much you stink.
Oh,
So, how does he do it there?
Oh, okay.
There
yeah.
we got it.
Top 10 scorekeepers of all time, by the way. This CBTC live crew here, but we're stretching our legs.
Wow.
Great match.
you know, Vinny and Arun did a nice job. They flipped the script there a little bit in the second half of that match, but the problem was
maintain it.
they lost the identity of what they did to get there, right? My dad always used to say, "You got to dance with the girl you came with."
You know what, your dad. First of all, I've met your dad on several occasions, and I could see him saying that. I was always a fan of the you dance with who you brought to the prom. Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Right.
Same phrase.
Exactly.
More words.
No, he's got it. Yeah.
Well, on behalf of everybody
Well,
at CBTC
we're-
Live, which
this
is
is
just
it.
Sean, myself, and Matt,
And yeah,
but who wishes he could be here and texted his condolences. Thank you so much for
to
joining us, Jason.
Jason Love, and let's not forget Chris Warner,
Yes.
the esteemed rackets director here at lovely Michigan Shores.
And to our incredible sponsors.
Exactly.
IBJI, Viking Paddles, Wintrust, and Volley.
And volley. So we'll be seeing you guys next week
Well,
sometime.
yeah, we'll be back.
Not
Hopefully
exactly
with
where.
Jason.
We'll
see
get
if we
Jay
can.
Love.
We'll talk to his agent in the meantime.
Thank you, yeah. About a margarine commercial. Exactly.
Separate. Now, normally we would have a wonderful little outro here, but I broke the streaming software, so it's going to cut to black real soon. But you guys, thanks for joining us, and have a wonderful evening. We'll see you next week.
Have a good one.
Thanks.
There we go.